Well, shout out to all my guys and goddesses and all high vibrational hearing beings. You know what the fuck it is, man. All positive energy to everybody. Grand Rising Supreme. Shout out to the children. Shout out to the teens. Shout out everyone trying to be better than themselves in whatever situation they're in. While in this monetary system that's infringed on everybody, this ideology, right? Um, I made it to here another day, y'all. You know, I ain't killed myself. And I'm another day closer to the system crashing. Another day of another person being aware of what's going on, regardless of their genetic makeup. Um, like I said, like I was explaining earlier when I went on here briefly. I was on my TikTok live. I forgot though. I made all my shit private. You know what I mean? Because like I told y'all, I don't care about I don't care about having followers and stuff like that. I just care about reaching the people that I need to reach. That's going to make a difference. Everybody else is irrelevant. It's people that's gonna make a difference in this world, and then there's people that's still trying to stay still or act like nothing is happening for, you know what I'm saying, for any reason really around them, trying to act like nothing is happening or trying to continue the same abuse as it's closing out by the day. You get what I'm saying? Let me remind y'all, that's the mental and spiritualness as this shit closes out, is the truth not being validated as the stuff that's put in place for it not to be validated is diminishing. That's the spiritualness. That's the mental part, because it's not being said as it is, but you see what's happening though. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you can't get too wrapped up in trying to get somebody specifically or individually to validate what you should see already going on yourself on this planet. You feel me? That's something big that I want to push. I tell y'all, I've been telling y'all all these years. You know, I hate to look back at stuff to bring stuff up to make points, but for understanding and awareness, it's good that I do so. I remember when I first started doing my viewpoints, around like 2020. I remember. And I remember I wasn't that sure in what I was coming into. I wasn't all the way exact, but something just told me to stay with it, and that it meant something powerful to me, and it was going to make more sense as I went along. So I just kept going, and I was at the point of, like I said, my family was destroyed, and I got set up, and I got alienated from my child. I had no thought process then that I wasn't going to see my child for the next 5.5 years, right? I didn't think anything like that, but put it like this: if I knew what the system that I was living in then, I would have predicted that. I didn't really know what I was living in as a black male then, but if I would have known, I'd have been like, oh yeah, this gonna be some shit. Because they just not going to let me file this paperwork easy to get in my son's life. This system is designed to break up families, regardless of genetic makeup, but mainly ours. But while they breaking up other families, they'll make it look like that they're just breaking up families in general, which they are, and that's not okay either, even if it's not just them breaking up our families. Shouldn't be breaking up no families. That type of toxicity that's protected within the judicial system shouldn't be. So it's like all of this, y'all, I'm here now. A lot of the stuff that I said, I remember, still, in 2019, 2020, you could still talk about, say the word UFO or say aliens, and, a lot of people would start laughing, try to ostracize you from just saying that stuff, because it was still considered like pseudoscience, you know what I mean, conspiracy theory. It was still considered a lot of that stuff. And you couldn't really talk about these things, right? But I knew in my mind, I'm like, I already know what's happening. I was starting to know what was happening. And as I said to myself, you know what? I don't care how crazy I might look individually speaking on these things. Watch as I go forward. And as we go forward, people aren't going to be able to downplay this stuff, because it's going to be so much in the open. It's going to become a regular thing that everybody talks about. And it's going to happen so fast. It's going to happen in a way where it's it's almost not even going to make sense around right now. Then at the time, I was thinking how this seems crazy. Just let a little bit of time go by, and then watch how all of this stuff gets validated regardless if it's not anyone specifically validated me, because it's going to be so much people talking about it off of all the activity that's going in the sky and how all of this is going to pick up, right? I was 100% right. You get what I'm saying? I was 100% right. All the activity in the sky, y'all, all the things being shown, you know. Now y'all can mention UFOs, y'all can mention aliens and stuff, and you don't seem like you're crazy no more. You get what I'm saying? You don't seem like you're crazy at all. You see how just in a short period of time, how stuff plays out, and then it changes the dynamic of everything, especially when it's dealing with majority. See, you can only not validate one person, right? The cause infliction, but that type of stuff doesn't work when it's a group setting, or when it's everybody that's connected, which black people we are. Or even if you don't want to say that, which is the masses we are. You want to talk about us together as one because of what I'm speaking on, right? You know, I'm pretty sure it was some unnatural people out there that wasn't validated, that was speaking on some of these things, and they feel the same way I feel, you know? They probably got laughed at. People said whatever. You know, ignorance is bliss. The attention span short, undeveloped brains. People only worried about what's in front of them. They're not going to even give you a chance to show them whatever you're saying, right? Look where we at with it, though. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm glad in the initial separation of me and my son that I didn't allow for me not knowing exactly all of what I was talking about, or even being alone within finding out certain things and like give up. I'm glad I didn't give up on it. You feel me? Because I could have let like people be like, maybe I am just crazy. I am the only one that's picking up on this. I gotta just be crazy. This can't be true, right? I had all of those thoughts, y'all. I don't get none of those thoughts now, because too much has passed, and everything in which I already knew prior. You feel me? So I would never feel like that now. But for me, whenever I get down and out, I just think about those times, along with everything else that I'm saying right now. That's in the same form. That might sound crazy because a little bit more stuff has to unfold, So it's like that's all it is, y'all. You get what I'm saying? Because you gotta think about it. The truth, it's the reason why the truth was hidden in plain sight, though. You hear me? And I wish everybody positive energy, even people that I don't even think that they're aware of what they're saying, but for whatever reason. But yeah, y'all, so this is why validation within self is such a big thing, and staying in tune with self is such a big thing. You don't have to have money to not give up on yourself. Of course, if you don't have a lot of money in this monetary system, that can push towards you to give up on yourself for a fact. But that don't mean you give up on yourself, though. You know what I'm saying? You never give up on yourself. You stay focused. You get what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be a time, just like how I was saying that then. Y'all think I'm lying now. It's gonna be a time where you're not even gonna be able to get on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you was aware, you was aware, and if you wasn't, it's gonna be too late for you to try to pick up on somebody that was saying certain stuff that maybe you literally had initiative to listen to. Like something told you to listen to them, but you didn't. You're not gonna have that chance no more. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be gone. And it's like whatever you have is whatever you have. Whatever you didn't have is whatever you didn't have. You get what I'm saying? So this is where we're at with it. You get what I'm saying? And this is definitely where we're at with it. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, y'all. Oh, no, you good. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you were saying. So you trying to just like say it, and it like didn't catch all your words in a sentence in which you putting it together. Yeah, because I'm like, what is y'all talking about? Like it's missing words. But yeah, though, y'all, that's what this is about at the end of the day. It's about staying in your power without validation. That's like the main thing that's about this, because all the real stuff isn't being validated by people, but it's being validated by it just happening and people's reactions to it happening. You get what I'm saying? That is the validation, you know? So it's like they don't gotta validate you if you're aware of what's going on or what's taking place or not. But as it plays out and how it's affecting everybody, that's the validation. You feel me? So you must remember this, you know? You must remember this, y'all. Remember me telling you this, you know, to keep your sanity, you know what I mean? You know, like the same way how people look at their phones to avoid accountability or thinking about something that they've already been thinking about or trying to ignore, that's the same way people look at their watch. You get what I'm saying? People do all types of things you know, have cognitive dissonance or feel like what's happening right now isn't happening. You know, that's why it's such a beautiful time, because it's happening regardless. How you deal with it is how you deal with it. You feel me? But it's definitely happening. This shit definitely coming back to me. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely consequences around this system that I'm living in that's had us black people in lack, you know, for a fact, while divided amongst each other. You know, it's consequences. Stuff has to play out. And Trump knows that, because Trump knows it's coming back to us regardless. It's stuff that he's aware of that I'm aware of that I didn't tell y'all yet, you know, and I'm just gonna let certain shit play out. Like this it gotta happen. You know what I'm saying? Because our abusers, our oppressors are complacent, you know? The abuse that they once looked at as abuse, they don't even really look at it as abuse off of the vision of us and how long, little of the time that we've been living like this. You feel me? Yeah, it's all good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're having a good rising, man. One of the things that people can't figure out about me is how, like, I be going through so much shit and I still have positive energy to give. But, I mean, I really don't be having an answer for that. But if I was to think about anything around it, y'all, I definitely would say just like the next black person that's going through similar situations to me or more, right? You know, because us being who we are and the natural abilities that's deemed as like superpowers that we're not in tune in right now off of the docile state we're in. How can I say this? We just gotta just block out these unnatural people. I'm just be real with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like our biggest. It's not even racist or anything. Like I heard a white lady say on the thing. She said there's no racism reversal. So you know like how some people could act like a black person could be racist to a white person. I know what she meant by that without even explaining it. And you should have seen all the white people in the crowd. They was mad as shit when they heard that shit. But what she meant by that is like with all of what was done to us yesterday that isn't talked about and what's being done to us today, the state that we're in, but is deemed as regular reality and how destructive it is towards our entire species. There's no way that anybody could say a black person is being racist. We're being straight out abused and adapting to abuse as if it's not abuse. You know what I'm saying? And then using that abuse to look down on each other and shit, like with a lack of awareness. Like there's no comparison at all. You know, it's just a lack of knowledge. You say you could see the pain in my face. I bet you've seen it and been through a lot in your young life. I say young because I'm 55 myself. Yeah, man, you're old enough to be my dad, man. Like I'm 33. I'm about to be 34 in a little bit. I've been through a lot, man. I seen a lot of killing. Like I seen kids shot. You know what I'm saying? I seen kids get hit with strays. I've been in a lot of shootouts myself. I had a lot of people trying to take my life. I've been through a lot, but besides just the regular street shit, I have been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I'll put it like this: none of that shit hurt more than all of this shit that I'm talking about. In the state of us, I'm pretty sure you're black also, God. Like, you know, the state of our species, what we living in, how we're divided. You know, you can see your black man down the street, know him or not know him, and instantly you just feel the energy like he trying to size you up. whether he gonna respect you or not over stuff that's been put in place for him not to respect you or be a combative with you. You know what I mean? Like this shit is crazy. It's so crazy. It's like it really is a psychological attack. The more you realize who you are, I feel like a lot of people are putting information out, and I'm glad that they are. I'm glad they remember who we are. We're sharing all this with each other, but I don't think that it's spoke about enough, like the mental damage off of even remembering who you are, opposed to what we're living in. You know, even as it's closing out, like it's a lot of pain within that. You know, because we know we're getting closer by the day, but still knowing really what's what, and even the provokes, even when you're getting provoked as a black person and stuff, it hits different when you really know certain stuff. You definitely have more control to not be reactive and spaz on someone, right? But it's like it hurts more because you really know the disrespect behind it off of really knowing who you are, and it's very, very painful. It's very, very, very painful, you know. So I say this, like, I definitely been through a lot, but ain't no more pain, you know, worse than like the state. I mean, knowing who our children are subjugated to, and us like dealing with the descendants of these people, like as if like my dad is talking to me, man. This is Chic, one of my dad's favorite bands. This is Chic. I want your love. I want your love. That's like my dad is just talking to me right now. That's like I feel like my dad just smiling, looking at me right now. That's one of his favorite songs. That messed up my whole thought process. I'm explaining this to y'all, you know? You know, I lost my dad at 16. You know, my dad was taken from me at 16 in '08. But it's like, I grew up on all of this, you know? My dad's favorite bands I feel like he played the most was like Osley Brothers, Chic, and maybe like El DeBarge, or you know, Atlantic Star, Delphonics or some shit. You know, the OJs. My dad played all that shit. You should try creating your own country and culture. Why always have to host your activities in the Black Empire? See, this is where knowledge is important, right? Like me before, like that comment, and I know that just came from an unnatural person. You can hear the aggressiveness and the type and the anger off of knowing really what's happening and not being able to stop it with everything coming back to us. You look through at any period of history or time, black people being alone, we've always conquered. You know, that's like I know you probably don't see my videos and stuff. I was talking about segregation yesterday and stuff. You think that white people from a collective want to let us go? Hell no. And the real, even y'all know yourselves what y'all species is about, and that there's no limits to how y'all will come at each other. Y'all power and greed will override each other. Y'all, there hasn't been a time where y'all lived civilly with just y'all without trying to abuse anybody else. That's the number one reason why y'all won't let go of black people. You know, anytime y'all so-called made it seem like y'all did, y'all tried to destroy us. You know what I mean? As whatever we was creating that was of success. Everybody knows this. You know what I'm saying? So like a comment like that doesn't even penetrate, bro. Like black people, we know who we are. So it's like, yeah, that don't even make any sense. You know? That's why even in this system today, how we live, y'all got to still implement ways to keep us not knowing who we are, continuously keeping y'all foot on our necks while y'all got the main stuff that y'all wanted. Y'all got the land, right? Y'all got us divided, right? Y'all got us killing each other, right? Y'all got us being friends with you. Y'all got us having our babies in y'all hospitals, right? Y'all got it. Y'all educating our children, indoctrinating them with lies every day, right? You get what I'm saying? It's not even an argument, you know? You feel me, God? Like they never would let us go. That's why the sun is separating us now. Because the sun know like the damage that's been done to us and how we're divided. Some of us are against our own means, you know, in cahoots with them. You feel me? It literally has to be done from a biological level, you know? And now I'm not white or black nor American, but y'all conversation is always about what white people do for y'all. It's nature, and they ain't gotta prioritize y'all. Make yourself your agenda. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I always say all the time, slavery was a choice, right? But even with that being said, I just want to let you know that this whole system is ran around us. Even with us in the docile state we're in, that's something that you can't overlook. And everything else I just said you can't overlook too. The only reason why this system is able to be up how it is off the lack of our awareness. You feel me? With us capitulating. And a lot of the stuff that we're capitulating is enforced, like what I just said, the educational system. A lot of the stuff that y'all do y'all most damage and affecting us psychologically, for us even feeling like it's okay to even have y'all around us and our children, y'all get us from a young age. That education in America, your kids are grabbed up at a young age. It's a reason for that. If you know how the brain works, you know what I'm alluding to without even saying it. But I know that you don't have an understanding of genetics. You probably don't have an understanding of your own DNA. Even I can tell how you're talking, because people that have an understanding of anatomy, they know certain things and how it's connected to the regular day life as we deem it as. You feel me? You should check some of my other lives out. A lot of the stuff that you're talking about now, you'll get all the answers for that. Respectfully saying, I got no hate in my heart for you. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff that I'm talking about, it's happening right now. With this sun activity, what this sun is doing, the sun separating me from anyone that's unnatural, that's just happening right now, bro. These solar flares are hitting right now. These CMEs, they hitting right now. That ozone layer has been peeling back for a while, hanging off a string for real. A lot of magnetic field lines have snapped while neurons are being created. You get what I'm saying? If you know anything about the Schumann resonance and how it's been spiking out of control, you know what ionized particles do to DNA. You know what UVC radiation specifically does to DNA. You know what the fuck going on right now. You feel me? This neuromelanin ain't nothing to play with, you know? I'm the sun in the flesh, you feel me? You might not be black, but I'll let you know I am, though. You feel me? For real, for real. I'm talking about right now, bro. You can learn genetics right now. A lot of the stuff that we've been praying for religion and stuff, and even how that was put on us. You can grab a genetics book right now, bro, and learn your anatomy. I'll learn the basics of how your body works and how it's being manipulated. Your brain also. You can do that right now. Every black woman can learn her anatomy right now and be able to articulate herself for why not to let her young starseeds be mentally and medically evaluated within these medical practices. That's something that can be done right now, bro. That's a choice, you know? Now, her choosing not to do that, you know, that's something else, you know? It's definitely a lack of awareness, but the destruction, you got to realize psychological damage is way worse than physical, bro, with anything, right? You know, if you got a certain level of psychological destruction that's done, I don't even care if somebody's telling you exactly what it is, you're not going to gravitate towards it. You're not even going to be able to fathom it, you know? But like I get what you're saying also though, because I'm gonna tell you why I get what you're saying, because everything I'm saying is true. But it's like even right now, right? It's like I look at it in a way like it's not our fault that these people that's unnatural to our planet, that's genetically spliced and came here off of voluntarily mixed breeding, has such a deep hatred for us, a confused admiration that they couldn't let us go and had wicked intentions from the start that led to a lot of the choices that we're still making now. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of get what you're saying. But this is why the sun is separating us though. Like the damage that's been done yesterday was already enough. So the damage that's being done today and it not being spoke about and being gaslit, that's worse than a regular narcissistic relationship of you catching the person not being faithful and them acting like, you know, it's not what you caught them in. You know, it's very psychopathic. This whole way that we're living life is based on a whole psychopathic lie, you know? Reparations doesn't make sense because, again, if you understand genetics, why are you going to fight about something that's already yours? That's not even a fight. I'm like, fuck them reparations. What you mean? This whole planet is my planet. I'm not about to settle as if like I got a connection to a specific piece of the land because as you go back, me and Indians, whatever part Indians I was, that we was on this specific land at the time. Even if I wasn't in Africa, my great great grandfather and stuff, you know what I mean? They still neuromelanated out there. That's still my land too. We was everywhere the sun touched. So no, fuck them damn reparations. I'm not talking about no reparations. I want all mines back. You know what I'm saying? I want all mines back. Fuck you talking about. And this ain't about no lower reparations. We need all that. I feel like a lot of black people, you know what I'm saying? We need all of that. You feel me? But we did help build this off of a lack of awareness. You got to remember, for real, the only reason why this was able to happen to us, Reflection, is because, and it's sad, but don't feel bad about it, and it makes me feel good when I say this because it screams about how important we are to ourselves. We the most peaceful people, man. I know you know we the most peaceful people. You know, and if we wasn't, we wouldn't have been able to even fall in this the way we did. You feel me? That's why whenever anybody try to make you seem like you violent as a black person or anything, you just got to be like, what you mean? If we was really that, this shit wouldn't have been able to even drag out this far. This shit was only able to drag out this far how it did because of how pure our hearts are and how forgiving we are, how we care. You know, we see the best in people that maybe we shouldn't, in a way of us being naive, because that's the type of heart we had. And we failed to our own detriment with that. You feel me? You know, that's all it is. Like it's crazy, you know. We the most peaceful people. Think about if we was really that person that they were saying, they wouldn't have been able to do none of this shit. As soon as we seen their ass come out the Caucasus Mountains, we would have been like, oh nah, y'all better take y'all ass back up there. We not even rocking with y'all. We know what y'all about and what y'all, you know what I'm saying? We could have been like that, but we wasn't even like that, man. And even today, we're not even like that. With all the damage that was done yesterday, as if it wasn't, we're still gentle with the descendants of the forefathers that made those same laws in which we still follow today, with the most deepest hatred in their heart towards us. You know, that's why I'm saying, like, black people, we really like the most peaceful people. That's why that when you really know it, that's why it's so sad, really, like what we really go through and the conditions that we're in, that they see us in on a daily basis and act like they don't and stuff like that. This is why the consequences is gonna be so bad, because it's really bad, y'all. It's really so bad, you know. That's why I have empathy and compassion for the karma that I know that they all about to get. That I know that they about to get, but they're grieving with it. You feel me? Hey, Villamore, what it is, man. Hi, bro. Hi. What it is. You know. Yeah, it's crazy, but y'all know how it be though. Like it's like that. Black people so strong. We be going through shit and taking it on the chin like as if it's regular shit. Oh, you Asian? I'm not even gonna lie. We was abused by you, bro. And I'm gonna tell you something about. Let me read your comment first. I'm Asian. When we together, we don't spend time talking about white man. But you got the same genetic as the white man now. You share the same animals that white man shared that make you up as an organism, whether you're aware of it or not. Your anatomy's breaking down, bro. You're not, unless you Filipino or Vietnamese, you regular, like your shit breaking down. I'm telling you, no lies from a biological standpoint. Every conversation with y'all is about Europeans and its programming. Yeah, because we're being programmed right now. They don't want you to have your own legacy. They don't. But that's why the changes are taking place on the planet. That your genetic makeup, Asians, Arabs, Europeans, all y'all genetic makeup isn't conducive to these changes that's taking place on the planet. You know? Sad to say. But yeah, we was abused by you too. We was abused by the Asians. We was enslaved by y'all. The Arabs also. It wasn't just the Europeans. So I'm saying this from a standpoint of the respect that black people have for the Asian culture, the martial arts and all of that. Y'all better be that much more appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we was enslaved by y'all also, you know? Koreans, we was enslaved by y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna argue with you. Just the fact that you said we didn't do shit to y'all, and I can feel your emotions through the typing, bro. And I'm gonna just put you on timeout immediately, cause like I told y'all, like no disrespect to that person, but I'm not going back and forth with stuff that's facts. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say like I know so much. Not to say I can't learn. I'm very open-minded, but it's a lot of the stuff that's not an argument. Like I said, we was enslaved by the Europeans, we was enslaved by the Arabs, we was enslaved by the Asians. You know, you can look it up. You can find stories on all of that. You can look it up yourself and see pictures, all of that. You feel me? It's not really that hard to find, you know? But it's people that don't have enough knowledge, and then they come around me or on here, and then I say something that them not having enough knowledge that you Filipino? Hey, shout out my Filipinos. You got green veins like me, homie. You melanated. Shout out my Filipinos. Shout out my Vietnamese. What it is. That's why y'all get hated by the Asians and shit. Cause y'all the natural ones of them. I mean, y'all still have animal DNA. Like y'all still have hair follicles and animal and stuff, but y'all have a biological connection to the planet. You feel me? So that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. But I could tell by that person, that Asian person, he was mad as shit, you know, because he probably didn't know that, you know. But this is why, like, you got to know a little bit more before you come on here with me, because, like, when it comes to genetics and anatomy, like, I'm still learning more about it day, but I actually study this shit. The basics I have down packed. Any surgeon, a doctor, I could talk, like, I got that shit down packed, y'all. And I know the basics around it and shit, even how in which it was taught by people in the medical field. I got exes and stuff that was in the medical field for over 15 years. You feel me? And when I first came across them and stuff, they thought I was lying and just talking out of my ass. They come to me apologizing like, look, you know, they taught everything to us from the eukaryotic cell standpoint, from the complex cell organism standpoint. You know what I mean? He said, I'm a big fan from the Philippines. I'm a kid. I'm 9 years old. Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. They were just trying to get a rise out of you, bro. Yeah, you feel me? It's sad. I know before I put them on timeout, I know that y'all, that last message that they sent, I know that you felt the emotions in that, the anger. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, like, I'm Indian. I'm like, bro, you just say you Asian. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, with them, it's hard for them to accept their own anatomy. That's their biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? That's their biggest problem. I'm telling you, no lies. It's for them to accept their own anatomy. That's the one thing that they've been running from forever. That even right now, even as they shit is shutting down, they still do not want to talk about. Or if they talk about it from a standpoint of hold up real quick. Villa, you said that you're 9 years old. I don't know if you're a girl or a boy, but it's a video that I posted on here. I would like for you to check it out when you get some time. Even show it to your mom or dad. Nah, yeah, I am. I'm not going front. I am. But I usually drink. It's not good to drink coffee though. Drink tea. Don't drink coffee. Don't even start if you haven't. It's not good. You know. But there's a video on my if you go to my videos or my lives, you'll see it's a video that says, oh, you're a boy? All right, there's a video that says 988. Listen to that video as you being a 9-year-old and what I'm talking about, and listen to the woman that I'm speaking to on the phone and how I'm talking about the protection of children and how important you are as a child. And listen to that video and show your mom and dad that video also. You know, it's very important. You know what I mean? And a lady stated that she didn't care about children and that the monetary system was more important than children, you know? And that's something that they're trying to gaslight me. You might not know what gaslight means, but not trying to let the video get out or let it be seen because of everything that it shows. Yeah, please look at it, man. And it's good that you able to even be able to understand what I'm saying. As a 9-year-old, I'm very proud of you for that. You know, I don't even know you, but I'm very proud of you for that. So I said that you joined 11 days ago. But yeah, y'all, so like the energy, you see the video? It's a video, and like on the title of the video, it's like says like 988. I was like on the phone with 988. 988 is a line that you can call if you're really stressed out, or going through a lot in your mind. And I called and I had to ask them questions. I normally call them and ask them questions about children and stuff, because them having that number available to call, not saying that those people don't want to help people individually, but that job is just there to block out the problems that make a person being in a state of mind they even feel like they would have to call them. That's why certain questions that you see in that on that phone call that I was asking her, she didn't really want to answer those questions because it showed that. And it's important that you know this as a child. You say you don't have a mom, your mom is dead. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Very, very sorry to hear that. Very, very sorry to hear that. From my soul, I'm very sorry to hear that. But I'll let you know you're very, very strong, and your mom loves you, even if she's not here no more in the physical. Your mom loves you, and your dad loves you also. Your dad cares about you so much. And I'll tell you this also. Your mom, even though your mom might not have, she might not be in the body no more, or you might not be able to see her like physically, like how you can see me on this video. But your mom is with you, and your mom isn't dead, and you're gonna see your mom again real soon. So that's something to be happy about. You're gonna see mommy. So just think about it like this. A lot of this stuff that you can get that I'm saying on here and stuff like that, your mom is very proud of you for being able to get that. As a 9-year-old, you're really 9 years old. That's very powerful. But a lot of y'all kids that are around your ages and stuff, y'all are very, very smart, and a lot of people overlook it, how smart y'all really are. So my heart is with you, Villa, for real. My heart is with you. Anytime, even my email is on here. Definitely ask your dad first. But you could tell him, there's a black guy on the internet that talks about genetics, and he talks about stuff happening on the planet, and ask him first if necessary. But always try to deal with your problems yourself first, right? Be the strongest that you can for yourself first. I'll tell you this because I stand for children no matter who's around me or whatever. I speak for y'all, and I'll never stop speaking for y'all, no matter what type of negative energy is around me or whatever's trying to come in between that. But try to face your problems yourself first, in your best way how to deal with it. Then speak to your dad, because your dad knows. But if needed, after you check with yourself, you went over whatever is making you feel this type of way with your dad, if necessary, you know, my email is on here, after you asked your dad and he said it was okay, um, feel free to send me an email. But definitely show your dad the video that of me talking to 988 on the phone. Your dad probably would really love that video, because at the end of the day, I'm talking about y'all. Not a lot of people are really trying to protect you as a child, as a 9-year-old. A lot of people are only worried about their own child. You know, they're not worried about children from a collective standpoint. You know, that's a big problem with this world. And that's why I do what I do, you know, because I call it all out. There's no sugarcoating with me, you know. I really care for y'all. So that's something that, like, I want you to know. So definitely go over that with your dad and everything, how I asked you. But you were very strong to be able to know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can see you, but my mom, I cannot see. And, but your mom is with you though. Know that. Know that your mom is with you. Your mom loves you very much. So yeah, y'all, you know, all us organic people, neuromelanated or you melanated, it's gonna be it's gonna be very good for us. What made you make a Villa? What made you make a YouTube channel? I seen that you made it 11 days ago. So what made you make a YouTube channel randomly? Man, I care about y'all children so much that even when I deal with y'all, I'm so tuned in to energy. I sense the energy of how powerful any child is coming off of them, more than any average person can feel. You know, and sometimes it makes me nervous because I know how y'all being taken advantage of from the collective, and I know everybody can't see y'all power how I see it, and from a standpoint to want to protect it off of what we're living in, you know, and that causes me mental anguish. All children, you know, and but that's why I do what I do though, you know, because this is more important than anything. Anybody in here could feel any type of way about me, say anything about me, whatever. That's not going to stop me caring about y'all. You know, nothing can stop it. I'm always going to care about children, you know. But for me to see how much everybody doesn't have that way of thinking, that mindset, it's very scary to know what you're living in, you know. To know that everybody doesn't care about children in that manner. It's a very scary feeling. I'm like, dang, I'm in this world like this. This is really what's going on, you know? My dad listening to your noise. What noise? Tell your dad I said what's up. And tell your dad I said that tell your dad that I said that he got a strong kid. Got a strong kid. Tell him I said shout out Pops. It's not going to be a lot of people that's really going to be on the forefront for y'all. But that's why this whole thing is getting cleaned up on my soul. You know, this shit getting cleaned up. Y'all going to be really cared about. It's right here. Don't even worry. Don't even worry. That shit right around the corner. Ain't gonna be no abuse happening with y'all. Y'all not gonna be overlooked. Y'all gonna be really protected. Everything that's gonna be presented to y'all is gonna be of value for your growth and development. Not trying to minimize it. Y'all really gonna be cared about. You know what I noticed, and I'm not gonna say all white people, but one of the easiest ways, and it's a certain way. It's just like y'all know how I be talking about that cough thing, the cough, the touching the nose, and the spitting on the ground. It's the same way that comes with this. What I'm about to tell you, because it's not everybody that does this. So not every single time you see this happening, it's for this reason. But it's almost on the same standpoint of like, y'all know how I tell y'all how people like. It's a bigger problem if you got to look in your phone to avoid contact when you walk past someone or something. There's a more deeper problem that needs to be fixed. But if you're able to avoid it by looking in your phone, it'll never be faced and stuff. Y'all know how I talk about that type of stuff. Another thing that's right along in that same boat is that of the phone and stuff is like people looking at their people looking at their watches. You know, it's like it's a certain way that like there's certain stuff that people do when you could tell that they're offended or they're trying to have cognitive dissonance about something that's in the area that they're able to see is happening or in which somebody is speaking upon, you know. And that's one of the things. It's like people see somebody a lot of times. I even see it on videos, like when I see like somebody like speaking truth in public on like a video, like literally on here on YouTube, and I see somebody speaking on something. Just look at the mannerisms of all people that's around a person as they're speaking truth, like how they act. And y'all get what I'm saying. It's a lot of the same stuff. You see that it's more realer problems of people's avoidant energy towards growth when they hear truth. Like how they display how they really feel and stuff. Like you'll see like somebody speaking truth, and then you'll see like multiple people as they pass. Only when they pass the person, like when they're the closest to it, or when they initially first hear what the person is saying, you tell like they pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, they try to get out of there like it's like their mental is being attacked off of truth, and they gotta like block it out. You get what I'm saying? To make themselves feel comfortable. Like you're seeing a lot of that, but again, y'all, that's all what truth is supposed to do, right? At the level we're at right now, because this is all around y'all. It's all around children. It's all around black people mainly as organic people, and then you melanated people also for the abuse that we're under, you know, and how we're attacked amongst that division of that abuse, you know. My dad said subscribe to you. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Please subscribe to me. Because at the end of the day, I look at it like this. You sharing my videos, Villa, you know, or anyone that can see the value in what I'm speaking about, that's really regular stuff. And that's really what I want y'all to see mainly in these videos. Like, a lot of the stuff that I'm speaking about, it's I'm not going to say it's sad. You could say it's my point of view because it's how I naturally feel. But this is just regular stuff, how we all should feel. You know, every mom or dad should have a value for children. You know what I'm saying? For real. Every mom and dad, you know? Every mom and dad. And not just their own, like all children. Like this is something that's like a big problem. It really bothers me. It really hits my heart. You know, like it's one of the reasons why like I'm not letting go. I don't care what I might go through financially off of this monetary system and how abusive it is towards the organic people of the planet. Like I'm gonna speak truth no matter what about who we are, you know, who you are, and what's supposed to be being done on the planet as all this other fake stuff is closing out. You know what I'm saying? It's like they had a job to do and all this damage that they caused. And as we closing out all this, as this shift is taking place and Mother Nature is speaking for us also, we got a job we got to do. And the job that we got to do is we got to love on each other properly. We got to remember who's the main important, which is yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all, the children. And we got to make sure we're right also, you know, first and foremost, so we can be of value the way that we've always been towards our children. You know, you got to realize, Villa, right now, fake is real and real is fake. Like, not even just me personally, but anybody speaking on this stuff, right? They should be like in the forefront of having like the most followers, all of that, even more so because of what we're living in and how righteous my message is, right? But you see how, like, you know, if you come on here more when I'm speaking about stuff, you'll see it'll be people that'll come on here and try to break my spirit. You know, it's people making fake profiles and stuff, you know, acting like other people. I got stalkers and stuff. I got a lot of people trying to like bring me down or stop what I'm speaking about as I'm bringing attention to all of this. And it's so it's a battle every day, and I am dealing with all of it, you know. So I got to be extra strong while I'm bringing awareness to all of this, you know. With all the information I have, I'm definitely fighting for my life. Oh, your dad was in the war? Your dad was in the Vietnamese war? I appreciate the subscribe. That's what's up. Yeah, it's crazy, you know. But one thing though, Villa, the fact that you're aware at the age you are of a lot of the stuff that I'm able to be on here speaking about, make sure you talk about it to the other 9 and 10-year-olds. You know, in a way that you know how they'll be able to get what you're saying. And you know how that is as you being a 9-year-old. You know, enjoy them years, you know, for real. But make sure you tell the other 9 and 10-year-olds like, you know, this is what's happening, you know, because y'all don't need to have this same life infringed on y'all and like brung to y'all the way that, you know, your father had to live, the way I have to live. It's all abuse. And you being organic, we shouldn't have to go through this. That's why a lot of the changes are happening on the planet now with like the fires, the floods. Somehow, something tell me to talk to this dude. I feel like this dude is Filipino or Vietnamese. And if he is, it's going to make sense. Like, I seen this dude yesterday, and it speaks even more volumes to what I'll be talking about. I'm going to ask him, you know. Hey, are you Filipino or Vietnamese? You're not? Enjoy the rest of your day regardless. Yeah, he's not. But I can tell. But this goes to show you he's homeless, you know? I'm not looking down on him, but it hurts me because I seen him yesterday. I seen him times of me being homeless. And like I said, any it's that jump. But you could see the pain on people's faces that's gone through homelessness. Like you said my dad is injured because they go to your war. Your dad is injured right now? Or he was injured? I'm so glad that you're on here, man. I'm going to tell you right now, off of you being able to understand what I'm saying, you have the power, off of you being a 9-year-old, to go about and make aware a whole bunch of other 9, 10-year-olds, you know what I mean, around your age. You have that power off you being able to be on my live and understand this. You know, you could take this video of you on here live with me, and when you see your friends, when I post this, you can show it to them and show them our conversation. And show them the 988 video. You showed your dad the 988 video? You know, I don't understand that. What do you mean? See, one of the biggest problems is, I'm not gonna say it's wrong, but it is wrong, and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by this. You should. I'm not gonna say you always shouldn't talk to children like adults, but in this system, how it's set up right now, but in this system, but in this system, how it's set up right now, it's like you got to talk to y'all kids like how I'm talking to you, like this, like kind of direct of what's going on. Once all this abuse is gone and all of y'all are safe and stuff, you know, it can be different for our approach with y'all because it's less abuse. But with all of this on what we're living in, you're doing your kid an injustice to not tell them the truth about what's going on, because y'all being lied to have y'all associated with stuff or ways of living of life that's going to affect your brain for you to think it's normal and not know that you're against yourself and that way of living. You know, you won't even know. That's like you're already in school right now, I bet, and like you know, they already you know had control of your mind for already like 3-4 years. You know, like four or 5 years already. They don't need any more control of your growth and development. If anything, your father should have all of that, and this is like a big problem. But I really enjoyed this conversation with you, though, Villa. For whatever it means to you, you know. But I just hope that you know, I say this to everybody, you know, wherever you are, you're on here for a reason, you know. So I feel like you get what I talk about, what I'm saying. But you're along with any other child. The fact that whenever it's children on here, that I do, y'all the main people I speak to, right? And y'all can understand stuff like this. It's not even just for y'all to be able to get what I'm saying, but to share this information for the next children to see it. Because it's going to be a lot of adults that already know this, and they're going to try to hide it from you. However, so even if it's not from me, so this life could still be taking advantage of y'all, you know. But you heard that just now. You get what I'm saying? That's confirmation, you know, for real, you know. And a lot of these people that claim that they love y'all as children, they care about y'all. They don't really care about y'all like that, you know. It's a lie, you know. So question everything, you know what I mean? And all this that I'm talking to you about, show the next 10-year-olds, show the next 9-year-olds. You know, show them that video with me on the phone with that white woman and the questions I was asking her. And pay attention to how when I asked her the questions, how she acted and her response. You know, how she even got off the phone. Pay attention to all of this, because this shows all of this stuff that I'm talking about in a flat out attack that's on y'all as children. You get what I'm saying? Know that watch thing? Somebody just did that just now. I'm telling y'all, it's real. You know, a lot of people right now are in shock. You know, a lot of people are in shock and they're not trying to show it. But I'm gonna just leave you with that right now. I value you and I respect you. But yeah, show all children this. You know. It's crazy. 5'9". I'm almost been on here for an hour. I'll let this go for an hour before I get off, you know, because I spoke to a lot of y'all already earlier and whatnot. But like I said, I made it to you another day. I'll say this though: you being a kid and me vibing with you off of this going on, it melts my heart in a good way that you're able to get what I'm saying, you know, and it lets me know this is why I do this, you know. I don't do this just to have likes and stuff like that. You know, shout out Yeedy just came in. You know, I do this for y'all, for the children. You know, ain't nobody gonna be speaking for y'all how I'm speaking for y'all. I'm on the front line for y'all. And not only am I on the front line for y'all as children, but y'all gonna meet my Lord. You're gonna meet my Lord child. You know, why are you going? You're in school right now. Villa, you're in school right now. But y'all gonna meet my child. Y'all gonna meet my Lord Troopy Troops. He's the Troopy. You gotta know he's the troops of all troops though. There's only one Troopy. You know, there's only one troops. But all children are important. But he's a Troopy though. You know? But it makes me feel really, really good that I know that the protection that's coming around y'all though. You know? But I'm gonna tap in with y'all though. It's funny how you said that I go back to your bathroom because I actually gotta go to the bathroom. That's literally why I was about to get off here. It's funny as anything. I felt like, and that was before I even read you saying that when I was about to get off at 1. I'm about to get off right now, but that just lets me know even more in tune how I am with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Of a frequency standpoint. You know. So yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. You know, this is Rude Points of RoBs Inferno while it burns slow. Shout out to all my guys and goddesses and all high vibrational human beings. You know what it is, you feel me? I might have to switch it up a little bit because I know, you know what I'm saying, it ain't the word to really be saying. But it is part of my thing. But I'm about to switch my, what do you call it, up anyway. I'm tired, I need to go to your bed. Well, lay down, drink some water, and drink some fruit. Enjoy the rest of your day, Villa. Peace, power, abundance. You know, make sure you show them kids and whoever, you know what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, because it means a lot, and it's for the children. It's for y'all. I'll enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace, power, abundance, gratitude.